Welcome to the Designated Driver Show,
the podcast where three regular guys chase better golf and even better stories.
Grab a drink, hop in the cart, and ride along with the Designated Driver Show.
Welcome back to the Designated Driver Show. We just got back from playing the Classic at Breakfast Ball. How are you guys doing today?
Doing pretty good, man. We had a lot of fun last night. Got some competition in over the winter, which is hard. Doing good.
Yeah, other than my neck being super tight, can barely turn left, I'm feeling pretty good. It was a good night.
Is that from the tournament, or is that from the workouts that I know you've been sticking to for the past couple weeks?
Dude, I don't know. I don't know what triggered it, but I felt it just tighten up on me last night, and it progressively got worse, and fell asleep in a funny position with my almost 2-year-old laying on me, and just could not shake it all morning long. It was all tight, couldn't turn it. It was a brutal day, that's for sure.
I was going to say, you sure it's not from carrying the weight of your team on your back the whole time?
Ooh.
Up until
pull back at the end of it, all right? I pull back at the end, all right? So
hold on. Let's not give out any details on that. We're gonna get to that a little bit later on.
It very well could be though, Dylan.
Hey, just put a crossball in there and you'll be good to go tomorrow, I promise.
Yeah, I got some shock therapy things Chantel's got, massage gun, CBD roller, put a lacrosse ball on it. It's getting better.
You did the works.
Oh yeah, it's been getting some work today, that's for sure.
Well, I know you guys kind of just heard a strange voice in the background. This might be a good time to introduce Dylan to the crowd. Dylan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, Nate. How are you guys?
Doing good.
Doing good. We're doing good.
You played the 2v2. You're my partner for the 2v2 tournament last night. You want to tell the listeners a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sounds good. I appreciate you guys having me on. Had a lot of fun playing golf with you guys yesterday, and like Nate said, we'll talk a little bit more about that later. I've been friends with these guys for a long time. We've been playing golf for many years now, and really excited to be on the show with you guys.
It's good to have you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you and Nate have known each other for a while. I think you and me are, 4 years now? 5 years probably?
Yeah, 4 or
Something like
5. I think the first one I played with you guys was at
Was it Treetops?
Treetops. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was 5 years ago.
Known Taylor and Josh for 4 or 5 years, whatever it is, and have known Nate for quite a bit longer. We used to be neighbors in an apartment out in Auburn Hills, Michigan, and one night just knocked on their door and said, "Hey, we're having a party. You guys want to come over?" And the rest is history.
The rest is sure history.
Amazing friends for a long time since then.
Leave some of those stories back then, though.
That's for sure.
Well, cool. Good to have you on. Glad you're here with us. I know we had a good time with you last night, and it's always fun competing with you. I know you and I go at it a little bit every once in a while, but that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, definitely. It's always good to have competition. I think it makes everybody
sure.
play better around you.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor,
sure.
Josh, I see you guys are sporting your new breakfast ball headwear.
Oh yeah, you see that? You like it?
Yeah, it's pretty
Yep.
clean. Pretty clean.
Yep. Brady hooked me up with this one a few weeks back, but Josh, I think you got yours last night, right? I think you got a 2-pack out of it, right?
Yeah, I got the 2-pack. I got a white one and this black one right here. Kind of
Dang.
want to represent, winners. We got
You got a
show off.
2-pack?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have to talk to Brady, man. I need a 2-pack. The one that I got right now is clean. I need a second and a third.
Yeah,
He's hopefully going
talk
to be
to him.
getting some more soon.
He's got a little deal running with his hats right now, so hit him up about it. But
Nice.
speaking of breakfast ball, obviously that's where we were playing at this weekend, where we do all of our simulator golf. As you guys probably heard on our last episode, Breakfast Ball and Brady took a chance on us being our first sponsor for the show, so we really appreciate that, and we want to give a little quick ad read for them. This episode is brought to you by Breakfast Ball Golf Sim in Waterford, Michigan, the official simulator of the Designated Drivers Show, powered by TrackMan Technology. Whether you're grinding on your swing, playing world-class courses, or just hanging out with friends, Breakfast Ball delivers a premium simulator experience with 4 simulator bays, tournaments, leagues, and lessons from Michigan PGA professionals. It's perfect for serious golfers, beginners, and groups alike. Book your bay, sharpen your game, and start every round with a Breakfast Ball. Visit breakfastballgolfsim.com to get started, and be sure to follow them at breakfastball_golfsim on Instagram. again, if you guys want to check out that interview with Brady, we interviewed him in our last episode that we put out. It was a really good one. Got to know him a lot better, both, as our group, and then hopefully you guys get to know him too. He's a really good guy running a really good business over there at Breakfast Ball, and all of us love going and playing over there.
While we're on the topic of fried eggs, guys, I got to ask everybody their opinion on this video I saw of Keith Mitchell playing from the
Ooh.
Sony Open a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you guys saw it. We can show a clip real quick for you guys who might not have seen it here.
Look at this. What? Did you see that?
I've never, oh, man. I don't know what to tell you.
I saw something on the golf course that I've never seen before, and that always excites me. He had probably the worst fried egg I've ever seen in a bunker, and elected to hit it toe down, I guess, instead of taking an unplayable lie or trying to hit it from where it was. I think from the commentary, he was worried about either hitting it further into the ground or topping it into the sand in front of him. Personally, I was looking at this video and, having the conversation with one of my friends of like, well, why not just take the unplayable? I know it got him a little bit further up in the bunker and maybe he was a little bit closer to the hole, but I don't know. It's something I've never seen before. I didn't know what your guys' thoughts were on that.
I thankfully have never had a lie that bad, but usually when it is plugged like that, I don't know. I mean, I'm not good enough, I think, to do anything like that. I'd be afraid of whiffing, to be honest with you, but I would probably just try to open the face a little and just chop down at it. But good chance that's bladed and shooting across at the crowd, or just staying right where it's at and not really improving it. So I don't know. Maybe that is a strategy, and I got to start practicing it.
Just from memory's sake, at the back in the Rolodex in the brain here, all I can remember is that I had something similar to that once, and I just swung as hard as as hard as I could, and it still didn't go anywhere. Still ended up in the bunker. So, that's like that's what I would have done. I wouldn't even have thought about just trying to chip it out of the hole instead of taking an unplayable. But each his own, right? We all have our own play style.
That's why he's on tour and we're not, though, right?
Right.
There's a guy on YouTube, actually, Scratch to Scratch. I watched some of his lessons that he gets, and one of his short game coaches was teaching him to hit that shot. I thought it was the wildest thing ever, and I'm like, I will never try that. So you won't see me trying that on any course, that's for sure.
I mean, I'm sure you guys have tried it when the ball's like underneath the trees or the bushes or something, and you try to turn it over or hit it lefty. I know I've whiffed so many tries doing that. Like, I could not imagine pulling that out in tournament, having to execute that shot, and it'd just be so nervous. But Josh, maybe he needs that 64 wedge you got, bro.
I know, right? I mean, it's the magic club for me. So it's who knows?
My
Maybe
favorite on
some pros
those lies is backed up to a tree, can't hit it as a righty. So then you say, all right, I'm going to hit it as a lefty. And oh no, as a lefty, my feet are on the cart path. I get to take relief. That's actually a tip. You guys can use it out there. Use the rules to your advantage.
That's right. That's what those caddy bibs probably taught you, huh? All the rules that you can take advantage of.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where my golf career kind of started. I didn't grow up playing the game, wasn't in my family or anything. First introduction into the golf world was caddying. I was 12 or 13 years old, can't remember specifically, but was looking for a job. My uncle was a big golfer, and he said, hey, caddying is one of the best jobs in the world. You should call a couple of local country clubs around you and ask if they're hiring. And I didn't know at the time, obviously they're always hiring caddies, but ended up going and working for a course in the local area. And got to give so much props to my dad here on this one, because as a kid who couldn't drive, the only time to get the good loops was getting there as early as possible. So I remember asking my dad at 13, 14 years old, hey, we got to wake up at 5:30, 6 o'clock. We got to go get the good loops, Dad, or it's not going to be a good thing. So, appreciate everything he did. He woke up all the time for me early to get me there. But yeah, caddied. Obviously, being a caddy, I had to learn a lot about the game. So that kind of gravitated into picking up a golf club, trying to hit that. And we all know where we started and how that went when we first touched a golf clubs.
Right.
Probably been playing the game since I was about 13, 14 years old.
When you were caddying, where were you at? Do you want to specify or not really?
Oh, I don't care. So I started at Forest Lake Country Club in, I guess that's Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. That's actually where that caddy bib behind me is. I did get the Evans Scholarship from there. I don't know if anybody's familiar with it, but it's actually one of, if not the largest scholarship in the U.S. for eligible caddies. I think they have about 15 chapters in the U.S. around the country. Can't remember that specifically now. I'm sure it's grown a little bit, but it was an amazing opportunity. It's one of the highlights of my life, and I think it will always be. Got a full ride to Michigan State and
Go green,
stayed
baby.
in the house. Go
Go
white.
white.
Yeah. Got some good company around here.
You're outnumbered now, Josh.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I'm always outnumbered. Let's be real here.
I'm sure you remember that day right there. I don't know if you guys can see
Oh,
it
I
on camera,
do.
but has
I
trouble with the
do.
snap.
I do.
I can't even see
And
that. I don't know if it's the
Jalen Watts
glasses or what.
Jackson.
So that's actually signed by Jalen Watts Jackson.
That's
That's
sick.
sick.
Little do we know, does anybody know, he actually, like, really badly got injured on the play and, like, basically ended his career, and one heck of a player, man, one heck of a play, but that's a fun fact that not many people know is the dog pile that ensued, he broke his, like, back or
Yeah.
something crazy.
Yeah. What a story to go out on, though. I mean, my gosh, if it's going to happen, let it happen like that.
Most famous plays in college football history.
Imagine showing that clip when you're like, grandpa or dad or whatever, thinking no one cares about what you did in your athletic career. You show them that, you're like, okay, actually, yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Checks out.
Yep. So I was wondering about, where you caddied at and how long, because in high school, early for sure for me, I was a caddy at Oakland Hills Country Club. I did it for 2 years. I did not have as much luck getting there really early to get the good loops, unfortunately, because there are a lot of senior caddies above me. So a lot of times they would get the early morning loops and then they'd come back and run it back, for the afternoon ones. So I'd get stuck sitting there a lot of times and not get to go out till pushing twilight. So I didn't have as good of an experience, unfortunately, but I did really enjoy it. So I was just curious how long you did it for, because obviously to get the scholarship, I would assume pretty much all through high school, right?
Yeah, so I was primarily just caddying until I turned 16. 16 is the age in the US you have to be to drive golf carts, or at least it is in Michigan, or was at the time. This was almost 10 years, more than 10 years ago now. I'm getting old, guys. So I was just a caddy up until I was 16, and then at 16 I started working outside staff as well. So cleaning golf clubs, staging carts, doing that kind of thing. So I was caddying and doing that together, and then was at Forest Lake until I was 18 when I went into college. And then after Michigan State, I came back and worked a little bit at Birmingham Country Club for a couple years as the outside assistant manager. And that's actually where I met my now fiance, who we're going to be getting married here in about a month and a half.
That's awesome.
Nice. And we're gonna have a nice little trip coming up to celebrate that.
But yeah,
Stay
that's gonna be
tuned.
fun,
There might
man.
be some clips coming from that.
Looking forward to that. But your fiance, she's quite the golfer too, huh?
Yeah, I was hoping to avoid talking about this until now, but it came up a lot sooner than I thought.
I wasn't sure if we wanted to go there, so I was
if he
kind of
wasn't gonna
refraining
bring
from
it
that
up.
one, but
No,
If he
we'll-
wasn't
we'll
Taylor's
go
gonna bring it
there.
asking
up, I was
all the
gonna bring
hard
it up.
pressing questions
yeah.
right now.
Listen, it was only a matter of time until she got brought up. She's the light of my life. And, one of the really cool things about her is that she played college golf. So she played for Oakland University, which is a local college here in Michigan, and it's D1 for women's golf. So she was a D1 college golfer, and she played her entire life. Little different from me, only picking up a club when I turned 13 or 14. She played her entire life, and she's an absolute stick. She's a 2 handicap because she has to have a gin now, but I think that's a little generous for her. She can go out there in her Crocs blindfolded and, shoot a solid 74 without even looking.
I've seen it.
Dang.
It's rather
If only.
annoying, but it's
If
awesome.
only.
Cheat code in
crazy.
scrambles, though. I just get to throw my feet up in the cart and watch her go shoot our score for us.
There you go.
Right?
Hit a couple putts.
Crazy.
Well, speaking of scrambles, I think this might be a good transition into why we're kind of actually here for this episode, and the 2v2 tournament that we had last night, actually, at Breakfast Ball, the classic. We got out there and had some competition between us, but I mean, when we got down to it, there wasn't a whole lot of competition going on. Taylor and Josh played lights out and took home the dub.
Yeah, it was tough. Probably the first 11 holes was so somber, I feel like, for us, because I mean, even you guys too, where we were kind of just fighting, trying to get birdies here and there, and you guys burnt a lot of lips. Josh and I didn't really capitalize on a lot of good shots, to be honest with you in the beginning there, but we got hot on the back, and I think we went 7 under on the back 9, which that par 5 there, Josh ended up having a pretty clutch putt to stretch that out a little bit more, but finishing 9 unders. It was a pretty good finish for how we had started, but up until probably that 11th, 12th hole, I would say, it was pretty neck and neck between the two of us, and then even got tight probably the 15th-ish hole. I would say we were maybe 1 or 2 shots up, and then you guys cut it down, I think, on 16, and then, I think we parred 17 and Josh eagled 18, so ended up helping us out a little bit there, but it was a good
Yeah,
time. It was a lot of fun.
that was the dagger in the heart. There just wasn't even I wanted to build up some climactic situation that happened, but I mean, when it all was said and done, you guys beat us by 4 strokes and just didn't seem like much of a competition at all. I know, like you were saying, Taylor, we were putting the ball. I mean, I was getting it in the fairway, freeing up Dylan because Dylan's a bomber and can just drive it down there. So I was freeing him up a lot. We were putting ourselves in really good spots to score, and we just missed opportunities. We weren't putting the ball close enough. Couple iron shots that just were on the green, but we're having left with 20, 30-foot sim putts, which we all know how those go. I don't want to go into too much detail. I think if you could watch the content that we're going to be putting out, you'll see my frustration with that. But yeah, man, it was just tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't checked it out yet, make sure you click on the link in the description below to go watch that. But for those of you who have seen it already, I think for me, the worst was the mental dagger that Josh put in our heart. He drained a 43-foot putt for birdie after we were close to the pin. We thought we were getting a shot back coming
Yeah.
through 14 or 15. We're like, all right, we got a chance. We were 2 down at the point. And I mean, man, just threw a mental dagger. You could see our just dropped into our stomach. There was no thing there. And then obviously just salt in the wound on 18.
I definitely didn't help out in the iron game really at all for that matter. And Taylor was hitting the longer drives throughout the entire day. And then, one things I was good at was I think I sunk four putts for birdies in the last one. That last one, obviously for the eagle. And it was very interesting. I'm like, all right, well, if Taylor's got the long game and the iron game, I at least will have the short game and the putting down. So that's where it came in. I'm like, oh yes. As soon
Well,
as
my
that last
favorite
one
part
hit.
My favorite part is this man was not, let's be fair, you weren't hitting the driver that well yesterday. And he steps up to the 18th hole with a 2-shot lead and just goes, well, Taylor, I have enough faith in you. You're going to put this in the fairway. So I'm just going to hit this one like I have no care in the world. Or I'm like,
Exactly.
bro, what
Exactly.
the heck is
And I
this,
drive
man?
it. I drive it down the center,
Piped
just
it.
short of
It
280.
was your best drive all day.
Best drive all day.
Oh.
Taylor goes up. He swings hard at the next one. It goes way, way left. I'm like, okay, well, we're in the center. And then we go up for the next one. I take my 3, and Taylor's like, well, let's just play it for short, because I don't think you're going to get there. And I was like, I'm probably not going to get there either, right? And I'm just, what? I'm going to swing a little bit harder at this. Perfect flush shot. Went straight for once. Over the bunker, rolled out to 243, 245, something like that. I'm just like,
I think you hit it to
All
like
right.
18 feet. It was
18
a
feet on the
pretty good
green.
shot.
I'm like, that's a pretty good shot. My best shot with the 3-wood so far, and on a sim at least. And I'm like, all right, we got this. And then just putting it down, the dagger down, just sinking that last putt, that 18-foot putt. It just was like, oh yes, this felt great. Okay, all right. We got this in the bag.
All right, that's enough. We just went through it, Josh. All right.
Thanks for rubbing it in, bro.
Salt in the wound.
Not only did we have to live it last night, now we had to relive it 3 times already today. So thanks.
It was crazy though, because like Nate, I don't think you missed off the tee at all yesterday, especially with your driver. And Josh unfortunately did a good amount, and then there was probably a 3 or 4 tee shot stretch for me where I was just struggling mentally seeing some of those shots that Josh had hit that I ended up hitting some pretty bad ones too, and I was like, dude, this is not going to be fun if this is how it's going to be the rest of the night. We switched up the order, and then from there I think is when we went on our tear and ended up being a really good switch for us there, but it was a lot of fun. You guys, I think, hit the ball consistently better than us other than the last probably 2-ish holes, I would say, 2, 3 holes. My irons were pretty solid. Wedges were pretty good, but Josh definitely came up clutch with some putts, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think the biggest struggle for me was, I know we talked about it a little bit yesterday, but I haven't played that much sim golf. We've been in breakfast ball a handful of times, but you guys have been kind of playing in a league there. And so for me, it was really hard to judge those shorter distances. Like to the screen is 10 feet, and then you have a 30-foot shot. So it's like, all right, if I put this in there like relatively hard, I was just leaving so many like short shots just short, and they're rolling back to my feet. And I just could not get a good judge for my short game. And I think that is what, because that's usually one of my strengths of my game, and that's really what hurt us last night is I just couldn't get the ball in hole and free up Dylan to kind of like really give it a run.
Well, I think the chipping is probably one of the hardest things about the simulators because no one
Mhm.
practices, in my opinion, like, all right, this feel is a 12-yard carry or a 18-yard carry, like for a chip to really know where it's at. Because majority of those shots, Dylan, you're really good at it, but you're like super creative around the green and you can just picture where you want the ball to land. But it's not like you're pacing it off or shooting it to get a yardage. You're just visualizing it and actually seeing it. And I think that's what makes it tough for that specific aspect of the game on sim golf is like not really being able to visualize exactly where you want the ball to go.
Yeah, it's a huge thing for me. I mean, I know I've had some decent success with it recently, but I'm a huge visualization person. I like pacing things off just to give myself an idea and then kind of create the image from that point on. But I really need to see what I'm looking at. And I think that plays into being able to be creative around the greens is knowing where your landing spots are and where it might end up. So chipping is a huge learning lesson on the simulator. I would take it 10 times out of 10 over that putting, though. I'll tell you that. I don't need to go on a
Yeah.
rant about it, but that putting is rough.
I don't know. We had some success the last few times, Josh.
We
It's
have, we
strange
have.
though, because I think Brady was talking about it. The last tournament we had, he was ice cold with the putter. He's like, dude, we just couldn't make anything. I think they shot somewhere in the single digits and for Brady in a two-man scramble, that's kind of low. And then he comes out yesterday and he's like, dude, we are just making everything. Shot 15 under and just blew the tournament field away. It was crazy. So I think it is kind of just one of those things where some days you just got it and some days you don't. There's no real repetition to it for sim golf. It's just kind of a little bit of luck. Let's be honest.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know about you guys, but I line the ball up every time I'm putting, especially on those, 10 to 15 footers and even inside of that. But it's not having that visual of that line to actually hit it to the screen is tough for me. And again, I know Dylan, you're much more visual than I am, but you not being able to see the contours of the green and you're just trusting, okay, I just got to hit this one dot on the screen and then expect that I have the right speed and it's going to work out, especially if you are that creative player. I could see it being a lot challenging for you.
I'm more of like a spot putter too. So I like to see a spot and like putt to that spot. And when you're just looking at clean turf with not a lot close markers towards you to be able to like spot putt too, that also makes it kind of difficult. Josh, you just got to tell us your secrets, man, because you were cashing them in.
I mean, the secret that I have is like you're basically you're when you're in a golf simulator, you're not when you're putting on the green, you're looking at everything, right? You're looking at the way the oscillations of the green, you're looking at your path, you're looking at anything in between the ball and the hole, right? You're looking past the hole for maybe getting if you're putting uphill, like all these different little things, right? Little tricks to kind of help you get closer to that sinking feeling that you're going to make it. And with simulator, it's well, you're on a flat surface, you got a distance, and it tells you your elevation. So you can kind of make a guesstimate as to what your true distance should be for your putting speed. And as long as you're hitting it on a straight line and you hit it true to that line onto the simulator, then you're pretty much you're already taking out the effect of the green oscillations and stuff because there's no controlling that on the simulator. You're not seeing it, anything like that. So just take it completely out. So that's kind of my mentality when I'm golfing, when I'm putting in the simulator is just all right, just get the distance right and the power right and the line. And that's is if you can get those two things down, then you're more than likely going to get really close to making those putts.
Long story short, empty your mind and hit the putt.
Dissertation. I didn't know so much went into thinking about a sim putt. Holy crap. Just a dissertation on how to sim golf putt.
Well, it's just, if you're going to putt for real, right? Just all right, just think of it as a real putt and just take out the factors you can't control, right? So
Hey,
That's that
can't argue it,
engineering
bro.
brain.
That's it. Sure, let's go with that. Let's definitely go with that.
Well, to
Oh,
wrap it
man.
up, what you guys finished 9 under and took down the championship. So what? That's 3 now championships
Yeah,
at
that's
Breakfast Ball.
it's our third outright win, and then we had a tie for the one that we ended up by the tiebreaker coming in second for.
Nice. And then we
Yep.
took second place at 5 under, which was I think we could have done a lot better. It was a poor showing, honestly, for our first event, but we'll look. There's a couple more that we'll get another opportunity at. Um, but yeah, any final thoughts on how the tournament went, how it was ran, things like that?
I'm just hoping I get another invite in.
I'm
I'm only
sure you're
0
locked
1.
in there,
I know
Dylan.
you guys. I know you guys are 3-0, but I'm only 0-1. So
Right, right.
I'm coming back for revenge next time. Listen, I hadn't swung a driver in almost 3 months at the time. I should have just played with irons the whole time. But we figured it out when it mattered most.
Mhm.
Fair.
You were hitting that driver pretty well for being your first time swinging it. Like you
And
had
not
some
only
pop on a
fitted
lot of those.
and
Yeah.
not fitted to you either, right? Because your driver's fitted to you and
Self fit.
self-fit.
So
It's still
take
fitted,
that with
right?
take that with a
Like,
grain of salt. But
when you hit other people's drivers, it's definitely different. I mean, I've tried Taylor's driver last year, and I just can't seem to hit it nearly as well as my own, you know. And similar thing with yours, Nate. I think I tried yours once or twice last year, and I just couldn't hit it the same at all, you know. But this might be a mental thing as well, right? But
Could
yeah, I
be
mean,
the archer and not
drivers
the
are
arrow
same.
too, right?
Fair enough. Yeah, so we got a whole bunch of excuses. Sim putting sucks.
yeah.
Dylan had a broken driver.
Yeah.
I haven't played sim golf only but one time this year. So yeah, we'll just keep all those excuses rolling.
It's like
don't
that
worry.
Carl's Golfland commercial for excuses,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
We were full of them last night.
Yeah, it's not NO for no more excuses. It's KNOW, no more excuses, right?
yes,
There you go.
yes,
Yeah.
we got the Rolodex of excuses, you know.
Well, they're on my Fave 5 on my phone, man. You guys remember that? Anybody out there remember Fave
Yep.
5? I don't
Was
know if
it
I'm really dating myself
T-Mobile?
now, but oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You get in a fight with one of your best friends and you're like, listen, you're out of my Fave 5 now. I can't
Yeah.
call you anymore.
It's like your
See,
top
for-
10 on MySpace,
I was just
right?
about to say,
Yeah.
for me, it was like
Yep.
top 10 on MySpace. That was
Yep.
the big one.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Well, speaking of excuses, I know that some of you have given me some excuses on getting started on our fitness journey for 2026. We worked together. You guys came in for a TPI assessment. We got a bunch of stats done on you guys and figured out some imbalances and things that we want to improve on. We wrote out a program that some of you guys have been following and some have been a little adherent to. So just wanted to kind of touch base with each one of you boys, see kind of where you're at in that journey and kind of starting the 2026 on a high note and getting our bodies in shape.
Well, I'll get started and basically say, well, my excuse is I had a broken down car. So Nate and I really haven't been able to get one-on-one to really go through the program and set me up for my workout program. So what I've been doing is just going to Planet Fitness and doing cardio the last 3 days. My goal was to get started the first week of the year, and with everything work-wise, family-wise, and the car-wise that was going on, just didn't happen. So this week, definitely started working out, did the cardio stuff, and then Nate and I are going to meet the following week, next week,
Next
and
Saturday.
we're going to get set up for my workout program, and that's what I'm going to be starting to adhere to, along with trying to eat healthier,
Yeah,
especially
no
eating
more
healthier.
pizza, bro. A half a pizza and 16 breadsticks, and then we go to breakfast ball and
They
you
were small
basically eat the
breadsticks. They
entire
were small.
pizza again. Man, no,
I
no
wish
more
I had that
excuses,
metabolism
Josh.
still.
I've been blessed.
Taylor,
Let's
I
be
know
real.
we were talking about your back being in a little bad shape right now, but how's the workouts been going for you?
Good. I did the 3 days like we had talked about. Just being dad and stuff. It's hard to do much more than that. But been going before work for the most part, and they're good. They're tough, especially some of those like smaller muscles that you don't really work on, and just some of the movements too. I told you I was pretty new to the weight room for the most part, so that session you and I did together after the TPI assessment really helped, and got one in today actually, even with the sore neck, and thankfully there wasn't much movement rotation wise, so I was all good to go. But I'm feeling good and definitely excited to keep going.
Nice. And I know we've talked a little bit about the nutrition, and you've kind of found some really good stuff to kind of substitute out some of the poorer choices for some better choices. How's the
Yep.
nutrition been?
Good. We actually got, no joke, probably 4 different Instacart orders today,
Nice.
with a whole bunch of stuff for meal prep. So I think Chantel's actually working on some of the stuff right now, but lots of chicken substitutes for, chicken sausage in the morning, just different stuff that's a lot healthier for me. And never knew what a macro was other than for economics, and now I'm learning all about it for food. So been a lot more attentive to that, and it's funny reading them and be like, Nate, is this cool? Is this a good ratio? He's like, no, bro, that's trash. You can't have that one. So I'm learning and I'm getting better, but I'm blowing you up with questions. So I appreciate the feedback.
Hey, always, man. I'm always here to help. And for you listeners, if you're not sure, a macro: protein, carb, fats. Eat a lot of protein, be careful with the carbs, and limit your fats. You're good to go. Don't make it harder than it has to be. And then Dylan, I know that we've started working together too. You're getting in shape for a wedding coming up and kind of trying to lean out a little bit and get your hot guy summer on or whatever it might be. We could cut that out if we don't want to use
No, I'm cool with that. You could use that. That's exactly what I'm going for. It was
All
really
right.
perfect timing getting the
Go.
TPI stuff going with you because, mine started a couple months ago. Getting ready for a wedding, and I think I was eating a little bit more in excess to try and put some muscle on. Was planning on starting at the beginning of the year to lean out. I probably started the leaning out phase a little too late, but we're here, we're doing it. So excited to continue on with some of this workout routine that you put forth for us, and hopefully in the meantime get some more flexibility and mobility going.
Yeah, that's the huge thing, man. Especially with golfers, is kind of trying to balance that fine line of being sore, but also being able to recover from your workout so the swing's still feeling good and things like that. Right now in the off season, it's not too much of something that we're really paying attention to just because we're not trying to be at our peak performance. So we can deal with a little bit of extra soreness. But yeah, that's always the tough line with golfers is managing what like the training and what you can recover from.
Yeah.
So
I think hitting the ball better is going to feel better than putting up 315 on the bench. So I might have to put that one down for a little while.
100%. That was exactly what we were talking about. Dylan was telling me some of his workouts, and I was like, "Bro, what are your goals?" And he's like, "I wanna try to get in shape for like the wedding." And he's like, "Yeah, man, I benched 275 for the first time today." I'm like, "Well, one rep maxing and your goals of leaning out don't necessarily coincide with each other. So let's have a conversation. Let's restructure that program for you." So that was cool. Um, but yeah, I think from there, I know one of the things for me is too, like this has really helped hold me accountable. I see all you guys putting in the work, and I don't want you guys to pass me up. So it's giving me that little added motivation, and getting in on the weekends too, and being able to work out with you guys is a lot of fun. So it's holding me as accountable as it's holding you guys in. So that's nice.
Yeah, definitely having that. I know we talked about it earlier, but like having that accountability partner and that structure for everything and plan, and you taking time out of your own personal life to build that for us. I know I really appreciate it. I'm sure Josh and Dylan, you guys do too, but having someone willing to put that forward for us was definitely appreciated for sure.
Yeah, very much so.
Not only that, it's also the fact that some of us are trying to lose weight, and like me, I'm trying to gain weight. So it's going to be interesting to see the differences between the workout plans and the nutrition plans along with that, right? And being able to talk about that down the road and seeing how that improves, right? Are we able to hit those goals and things of that nature down the road? So I'm excited. I'm excited to get everything down on paper and actually starting to go through that process with you. So
I know we're all excited to get back into the gym with Nate. Nate, I don't know if you want to take a minute and just, tell everybody about what you do and who you do it with.
Yeah, so we've said it in the pod before. I'm a TPI strength coach where I'm located over at Peak Athletic Conditioning on 19 Mile and DeQuinter in Troy, Michigan. If you're wanting to get better at the game or just build your body and kind of a more resilient body to hold up with the things that golf throws at it, I know that my shoulders and my low back start to hurt. And so those are one of the things that we try to really reinforce and make sure that those are taken care of. But if you guys are interested in kind of taking care of your body in 2026, stop by and check us out and get a free assessment done.
All right, if you guys want to follow along with us on our journey, make sure you guys are following us on Instagram, all of our socials. You can see the stuff up top. We got our handle at the end of everything. We got our YouTube going as well. More than just podcasts will be coming out there soon. So make sure you guys stay tuned and follow along.